Hi, it's Mr. Crane here. Virtual students, we're going to be doing two assignments at once this week. One of them should take you literally 5 to 10 minutes per day after today's introduction, but you are responsible for weather predictions assignment and introduction and taking measurements from the weather, from the instruments or from the website that I give you today, and calculating, keeping up with things like wind speed, things like temperature, barometric pressure, and precipitation, cloud cover, things like that. The kids here that are face to face will use this device that's right here. You guys right here. So you'll be using this device right here every single day, and another instrument that I give you called a hygrometer. And I will show you a hygrometer right now. I'll show you a hygrometer. Looks like we have an interruption. I apologize. So this is a digital hygrometer. Looks like a nose hair trimmer. It is not a nose hair trimmer. It is a digital hygrometer. I'll explain what that means. Yes, ma'am. You've asked me how many times now? The only chargers I have are those sitting right over there. Sorry. So this is a digital hygrometer. You guys will be using one of these in class today. Students that are virtual will not be using digital hygrometers. You're going to be actually using a website that I provide for you today called weatherbug.com. So on weatherbug.com, for those of you that are in class or virtual, if I can get to it so the mouse catches up real quick, hang tight. Just wanting to jump around. The problem with running two systems at once. You're going to use this website right here that says weatherbug.com. Let that load for the face-to-face students so you can see that. But over here you have underneath that huge 67, you have this little white area down there. It says weather details for West Fork, Arkansas. It says wind chill, dew point, humidity, pressure, the sunrise time, sunset time, UV index, ultraviolet index, the moon, what kind of phase of the moon we're in. Right now it's in a waxing crescent. The wind speed is at 9 miles an hour out of the south southeast. The rain totals. So today you have a daily rain total, and the month total would be the total of the entire month. So you should expect this one right here to both change today. Students that are in class, you see this little box that's down here on the bottom? It says weather details, Braxton. It says weather details right there. So you're all going to be given a document on the main page for today, and you're going to keep up with this document for 5 days. Virtual students are going to do the same thing. You're going to do 5 days worth of keeping up with the document. And on Saturday and Sunday, you're going to make a weather prediction. You're not going to look at the weather devices. You're going to make a prediction based on the weather, the measurements that you've taken all week that we put into a chart, and you're going to graph it, and you're going to extend the chart out for Saturday and Sunday to determine what type of weather is going to happen for Saturday and Sunday. This is just how the weather men and women, the meteorologists, do it on the big TV stations. Okay, so without further ado, um, on the weather, on the hygrometer, digital hygrometer, one student at home has already picked up one of these. These are not required for you to pick up. You can do this whole thing from weatherbug.com. But if you're trying to do this from home, you're going to turn this button on, this green button. That's a power button. And that green power button is going to start off and it's going to say percent RH, that's percent relative humidity, and it's going to give a temperature. You can change the temperature between Celsius and Fahrenheit by pushing the Celsius and Fahrenheit button, and that will change the temperature. And we're also going to take something called the dew point. The dew point. What is dew? What is dew? Miss Silcox, what is dew? So it's in the morning, right? Early in the morning. Is it cooler in the morning than it is in the afternoon? Yeah, usually. So right now I took a dew point measurement right now, and what it says is my dew point temperature is 60.4 degrees on this device. What that means is if we were outside and it hit 60.4 degrees outside, that would be the temperature at which dew would move from the water vapor state to actual liquid. Okay, so a temperature change where it gets cooler. Think about whenever you take a cold bottle out of the refrigerator and you set it inside the room. What happens on the outside of the bottle? It gets condensation, gets those little dew spots, right? Little tiny water droplets. That's what's happening. There's a temperature at which it goes from a gaseous state out here and cools that temperature so that condensation forms on that bottle on the outside. That dew that you feel, or that condensation on the outside of that water bottle, doesn't come from inside the water bottle. Most people think, oh, it's little tiny water droplets that are coming out of the bottle from the inside of the bottle. That's not what's going on, right? It's the actual air that's around the bottle getting colder, and the water that's in the air as a gas cools down and becomes water on the bottle because the bottle's cool and condenses on that bottle. So this point on my little electric nose hair trimmer, what it looks like, this digital hygrometer says 60.6. So if I went outside and our temperature got to 60.6, we would expect to see dew. Now, what do you think the humidity is right now since it's been raining? You think it's closer to 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%? What do you think? Anyone know what humidity is? What is when someone says, "Man, it's humid outside"? What does that mean? Yeah, it's sticky. It feels muggy, right? So if someone says it's 100% humidity, what's it say up there? What's the humidity right now? 91%. When we hit 100% humidity, that's rain. Okay, 100% of the atmosphere is actual moisture in the air. Okay, and the closer we get to 100, it rains. So right now it's at 91%. We're not quite at 100 yet, but it feels more wet in the air. All right. On a hot day, that's worse because you feel hot and sticky and sweaty those days. But like a day today, you might feel clammy outside, like it's like just damp feeling, like your clothes start to saturate just walking around. All right. Wind speed. What is that? What is the wind speed? How fast the wind's blowing. And why does it say south southeast right there? All right, so hear me say this, you guys too at home. The wind direction, it's the direction the wind is coming from, not going to. Okay? So if it says south southeast, if I look to the south, which is right now it's that direction, the wind is coming from that direction, south southeast, so a little bit over that way. And it's blowing this direction. All right? So that one up there can say south to southeast. Our one here in Westport right now is 3.4 miles per hour out of the south right now. So it's not quite 9 miles an hour because that one is probably being taken at like Drake Airfield. These measurements that you see right there that we're looking at is probably the airfield right there in Greenland. So way up higher on a pole and it's spinning, so it'll be a little bit faster. Ours is on the roof right above us. Okay. What is what's pressure? What's pressure right there? When I say I'm putting pressure on you, what does that mean? I'm putting weight on you. So pressure in the air would be what? What's that? It's 29.91 and it shows inches right there, little symbols inches. But what does that mean? So anyone remember we talking about just going scuba diving? And I said that as we're in the water right now, while we're standing here, there's 14.7 pounds of pressure being pushed on us right now on our bodies, every square inch. Okay. So right now, the pressure outside is at 29.91. So it's a little more than that normal 14 pounds, right? So as we get this storm that comes in, it creates pressure. All right. And the lower the pressure, the lower that number goes right there. And it usually stays about 29 most of the day, all week. But the lower the pressure goes means that a storm is coming in. Okay. Because a low pressure system is coming in, and that's what brings in storms. Right. Normally we're sitting around a high pressure system where it's beautiful days, beautiful sunlight, air is expanding, it's rising and everything. But when a low pressure system comes in, it pushes that high pressure system up in the air, and that low pressure system moves in below it, and we get storms. So if you see your low pressure system, that number right there go from 29.91 to something lower than that. And the pressure over here I have is 29.7. So again, where's that measurement being taken at right there? Where's that measurement? For those of you that are trying to figure out what I'm talking about at home, real quick, I'm hoping this video works for you because I feel like it's so far lagging behind. Sure, you're only changing songs. Mm-hmm. Unless you want it in the office. I'm wondering if this thing is so slow now. Oh my goodness, come on.